Hey everybody, welcome to Prep Composition or English 099. My name is Valerie Malott and I'll be your instructor this spring. I need to share my screen here so we can take a look and get through this course overview video. You'll see here, this is probably close to what you will be seeing as students. I've gotten into the student view because my view as an instructor looks a little bit different. So I want to make sure that what you're seeing is in the video is close to what you see on your computer screen when you take a look at the course modules. So here we are. This is our homepage currently. I might change it so it looks a little bit different, but currently it takes you right into the course modules. Now, my recommendation is that is the best way for you to navigate through the course. I know as students, you're anxious to get through the material, get the assignments done, and be on your way. But if you click through the assignments, you'll see this here. First of all, it needs to be organized a little bit better with proper due dates. But that's not always the best way to go through things because you'll be missing out on very important information. So I recommend that you go through the course orientation as well as the course syllabus. I will be sharing a separate course syllabus walkthrough video because there are some important things on there in regards to grading and participation that I really think are important for you to know. So I wanted to record a separate video for that. But let's get through this orientation and this course overview. You'll see here at the top of the page, there are some Claremont student resources. This is information that a university publishes for you as students. It has a link to a separate page for student resources, and it opens up into a different page, as well as the library at UC Claremont for students. Now, I realize that some of you who are taking this online class might not be Claremont students, but that's okay. We have the library and you can use the library. It has a wonderful online system. So we have that information there for you. If you see here, there's a little triangle on the side that can collapse the modules for you. So the next thing that's on your page is the course orientation. We have a course overview page with some recommendations for you to understand how the course is set up, and tell you a little bit more about English 099. As you know, it's an introduction to college level composition, but it's not the required class that you need in order to complete your certificate or graduate from your program. That is English 1001. You have elected to take this class either because you need to get up to snuff as far as your writing abilities, or maybe you have been misplaced in this class. So if you feel like this, you're not sure if this is the right class for you, it's really important that we have a conversation and get that sorted right off the bat, because sometimes students select this class thinking that it's English 1001, the required class that they need, and they don't really need to take this class. Or you might be kind of on the fence about it. You're not sure if you have the abilities that you need in order to be successful in the English 1001. So it's important to have a little conversation with me, as well as your academic advisor, to make sure you're absolutely sure that you're in the class that you need to be in before you get too deep in the semester and realize that you made a mistake in choosing a class. So the weekly course procedure that I suggest is that you establish positive habits right at the beginning. So the really important thing is that because we don't have any kind of designated meeting time, Monday is the official start of our week. So we go from Monday through Sunday. So it's really a good habit to check in on every Monday to see what's expected of you each week. And that's why I have things set up with modules. If you go in and you check the weekly module, you'll get all of the information that you need, all of the links to readings, all of the links to videos and other resources, as well as links to the assignments that you're required to do for that week. So we start on Mondays. Each module is released on a Monday automatically. And then your work will be due by midnight on, well, it's actually 11:59 p.m. on the following Sunday. So we go Monday to Sunday. I send out weekly announcements, and those are posted by 8 a.m. on Monday morning. If you don't see an announcement by 8 a.m. Monday morning, don't panic. The module will still be open for you. And usually it's just something like, oh, it slipped my mind. And you'll just have to look for it later on in that day. Sometimes there's additional information in those announcements. So it's a good idea to make sure that you set your notifications up so that you are getting those through email. That way you won't miss all of the important information that you need each week to be successful in the class. There might be occasional assignments like discussion board responses or quizzes that will be due midweek, but mostly your assignments will be due by the following Sunday. So it's important that you look at the assignment, see what's required for you, do that early in the week, and then you know what you're up against before you get to the end of the week and you're like, oh my goodness, this will help you with time management, and it will help you ultimately to be successful in the class. So it's always a really good idea to check Canvas every day and check your email every day as well. That way you can be sure you're not missing anything important. Assignments, of course, are going to be submitted online through Canvas. And if you, for some reason, you are submitting late, you need to make sure that you have written to me, emailed me, communicated with me so that I'm aware of your situation. Typically, I can be flexible within a day or so of assignments being due. If it's extenuating circumstances, it's really important that you let me know what's going on and we can make some other kind of an arrangement. We have the way the course is organized and how best to navigate through it. So as I said before, it is organized into weekly modules, and that has all the resources, readings, and assignments that you need for learning. So it's really best that you navigate through the weekly modules. If you go by the assignments, you're going to be missing all of that important information to help you understand what you need to do, right? All of that content that you need to do. So here I'm going to click into the modules like we started. And as you can see here, we have weeks 1 through 15, and then we have a final. For finals week, we don't have an actual final. There is a final assignment, but it's not an exam. It's just a written assignment, and we'll talk more about that as the semester progresses. Actually, probably talk about that in the syllabus video. I haven't recorded that yet, but I will cover all of the important things that you need to know in order to be successful in the class. So as you can see here, we have each module set up by week, and they have a weekly overview. I will show you week 1, which is currently unlocked. And you see here, any of these that have this little padlock here means that that module is locked. And that just means you don't have access to the information until it unlocks on Monday morning at 12 a.m. So before the announcement goes out, the subsequent module will be unlocked. But here, let's take a look at how the weekly modules are set up. They all look similar. They have an information with the weekly objectives. They have the readings, things that you need to watch, videos and that kind of thing. I will be posting weekly overview videos in this section. They are housed on YouTube. They're not housed here in Canvas. They're housed on YouTube on my YouTube channel. So once you have that first link to my YouTube channel, which is not public currently, you will have access to all the videos and the playlist that I create for the semester, as well as any of my older stuff and other classes that I have taught in the past. So that's the watch section. And then we have assignment section. And it has a link to each assignment as well as the due dates. And if any of them have a discussion board that needs a peer response, I will also remind you of the peer response, which is usually due the following Wednesday. So that gives everybody a chance to post to the discussion board. It gives you a chance to read the posts, and then it gives you a chance to think about and formulate your response to the discussion board. The discussion boards will be pretty frequent, if not weekly, then every other week. But you will have several discussion board assignments, and that kind of takes the place of being face-to-face in class, right? So this gives you an opportunity to engage with other students in the class. And these are things that I do read. Every time somebody posts to the discussion board, I get a notification, and so I go in and I will read your posts as well as your responses. I may not respond myself, but please make sure that you do these discussion boards, because, you know, again, this gives you an opportunity to engage with one another in the class. So that is how the weekly modules are set up. And back to the course overview page here. So it's a good idea to look early in the week so you can schedule your time accordingly. Learning to manage your time is really a very valuable skill, not only in college, but also for the rest of your life. So if you can manage your time wisely, that's half the battle, right? If you wait until the end of the week when most of the assignments are due, you could run into problems as far as managing your time, right? Making sure that you have enough time to address the things that need to be done within the assignment. I usually provide feedback on assignments, especially if it is a writing assignment and not a quiz or a discussion board, within 24 to 48 hours of them being due. That does not mean 24 to 48 hours after you submit it, right? If you submit an assignment early, chances are I probably won't get to it until the day after it was due, right? Feedback on longer assignments in a full class obviously is going to take longer. This is a pretty full class. I think we have 18 students. It's capped at 20. So that means if everybody is writing a 3 to 4 page paper and they're due on Sunday, it's going to take me a little bit of time to read through and mindfully provide feedback for you. I don't like to rush through those things. So I do take a little bit of time to get the feedback. If it's during a time when we need to make a revision, I do try to get those done as soon as I possibly can so that you have my feedback to go on as well as any other feedback you might receive, whether it's from a tutor or a classmate or somebody else. Again, it's really important to submit your work in a timely manner, and it is your responsibility. You must contact me so that I'm aware if your assignment has to be submitted a little bit late for a significant reason. Anything that's unexcused late submissions obviously don't receive high priority. If you submit it late and you didn't bother to contact me, it might be some time before I get to that assignment just because you didn't prioritize it, so I'm not going to prioritize it. Time management, make sure that you read through this. It's really a good idea to use something like a planner. You know, that could be an electronic thing, a calendar on your phone. We have the calendar here within Canvas. If you click on the calendar, it takes you to the calendar and it will show you for all of your classes, if your professors use Canvas and put the assignments in, it will show up on the calendar, anything that has a date to it. So for my class, yes, you're going to see it in the calendar. So using the Canvas calendar, using a calendar on your mobile device, or even using a physical planner. I am big into physical planners. I have 3 of them sitting on my desk right now. One of them will go to the classroom with me. I have a separate planner for my lesson plans, but I also have a personal planner and a fitness planner. So I love planners. But I know that many of you might be not into having the hard copy and keeping everything on your phones. Whatever works for you, find a system that works for you and stick with it. It's really a good idea to build these habits now early in life, not only because they're going to carry you through and make college a little bit easier, but once you are in the world, and maybe some of you are already out in the world, you're working, you're raising families, and you're juggling many balls. And if that's the case, you've probably learned how to manage your time already. For those of you who are younger and maybe you don't have kids yet and you're just a single person straight out of high school, really learning to manage your time is a super important skill. I have some frequently asked questions about online classes. Are online courses easier than face-to-face courses? Absolutely not. In many, many cases, they are much harder. You do have some flexibility with online courses because you don't physically have to be anywhere at any given time, but you have to be prepared to spend several hours per week accessing the course materials, reading, writing, completing assignments, whether that's alone or with classmates. So it's really a good idea to try to spread the work over the course of the week rather than putting it off until the day it's due, right? Due dates are consistent and concrete, and you're responsible for keeping up with those deadlines and submitting your work on time. Does this mean that you are teaching yourself? No. You do have to be motivated and you have to be responsible. You have to be driven somewhat, but you're not alone in this course. As I said before, I post weekly videos to make sure that students understand the content and understand what's expected of them. And of course, I am available to meet in person if you want to. I'm on campus Mondays and Wednesdays at the Claremont campus. We can meet in person. Outside of my face-to-face classes, we could meet on Zoom. We could meet on Teams. I even know how to use Discord. So if you're a Discord person, we could even set up some kind of meeting over Discord. I also have the phone number that's on the syllabus. You can contact me. You can text me. I prefer to do things via text and email rather than talk on the phone. I'm just really weird about talking on the phone. I'd much rather be able to see your face if I can, if we have to talk. So there are many modes of ways I am available to help you. You're not alone in this course. You'll be writing and sharing with classmates. You'll be sharing with me throughout the term. You even have options to conference with me. We also have tutors available who can tutor virtually. So you're not alone. You can get help. And we'll talk more about that as the semester goes on. Can you work at your own pace? Will I post every week's assignment so you can work ahead? Currently, I have subsequent weeks locked down. And part of that is just because I'm still fixing due dates. I copied course materials over and from a previous class that I taught online. So I still have a little bit of juggling, revising, and editing to do. So for now, those are locked down. However, you can see each of the assignments, I believe. Yeah, so you can see the assignments and when they are due. You just won't be able to access the modules, right? Yeah, so I'm just wondering if let's see if it would let you. You could even start an assignment. However, jumping right into the assignments without understanding the context behind it that is available in the module is really not a good idea. You can look through the upcoming assignments so you know what you're up against and kind of schedule your time. But I encourage you to just do the assignments that you can do in a given week. There are regular weekly deadlines in the course. Sundays are usually that. I won't post assignments in advance. I used to, I go back and forth on this. I've kept the whole course open. It hasn't been too problematic. And if I get things edited and revised and done in the next couple of weeks to the point where I feel comfortable opening up the rest of the modules, I will go ahead and open up the rest of the modules. So yeah, will we ever meet in person? No, not for class. If you want to meet with me one-on-one, we can do it over Zoom, or if you happen to be on the Claremont campus on a Monday or a Wednesday, I'm happy to try to arrange a time for you, but you're not required to meet with me in person. Will attendance be required at particular times? No. Asynchronous means outside of time. So we don't have any set times. I do have recorded lectures or overview videos that you can watch in your own time. Ideally, you should watch those at the beginning of the week, but we all take online classes for different reasons. I'm able to view when you last accessed Canvas and how long you have spent time within the course shell. If it seems like I notice a drop in your access time and you haven't been in Canvas for quite some time, I'll reach out to you to make sure everything is okay and help you to develop a plan so that you can stay on track. I want everybody to succeed in the class. How much am I expected to work each week? For a 3-credit course, that equates to 37.5 instructional hours. That would be in class time. A total of 90 hours of work outside of the classroom. To simplify that, that means you should work about 6 to 8 hours per week in this course. I know that seems like a lot, especially if you're taking a full load, right? If you're taking 5 courses and you have to work between 6 to 8 hours for each course, that's like a full-time job, right? 30 to 40 hours a week. It's a lot of work, and you really should treat it as a full-time job, which of course, if you are already working a full-time job and taking a full course load, then you are a superhuman. That's all I have to say about that. That's a lot of work. What happens if I'm ill and unable to complete coursework by the due date? Again, it's your responsibility to email me. If for some reason you aren't able to email me, try to get a family member or a friend to reach out to me. But of course, that's kind of going against the FERPA regulations. So if you are someone who might be having some problems, or if you're a young person and you're living with your parents, you might want to give your parents permission to access and have information released to them. I am bound by law to not release information unless you have paperwork on file with the university. So if you are ill, if you're just sick and you're not able to get the coursework done by the due date, it's your responsibility to email me and we will work something out. Likewise, if you are a military personnel and you suddenly have to go off on a military assignment, please let me know and we'll make arrangements. And also there are stipulations for religious observances as well. That's all outlined in the syllabus. So in the syllabus video, we'll go over that in greater detail. And then there's information about written assignment, formatting, and submissions. So make sure that you read that. We will talk more about that in the coming weeks, because I don't expect you to all know how to use MLA format. So that is part of my instruction, but that is how you will be expected to submit your written work. And then we have some course documents. This needs to be updated a little bit. It's in the syllabus. This is an older video, but I think it's still relevant. So navigating English 09 the easy way. Then I have the detailed course syllabus, which is the printed document of this online syllabus. Then the basic course syllabus, which is just kind of a couple of pages distilled, the really nitty-gritty information that you need to know. Essentially, what books do you need? Well, my contact information, what books you need, what kinds of assignments you'll be doing, and when they're due. And then we also have a separate course schedule, which gives you the due dates of all of the assignments. Those are all in PDF format, and I will have everything updated as soon as we go live with the course. The next section is course resources. So the main book that we will be using, and we'll actually kind of just be referring to it, is called The Writer's Practice. And this is a free download that John Warner made available to people. It is at archive.org. But we have the PDF here. If you need a different version than the PDF, if you want Kindle or another kind of EPUB, you can go to archive.org, and they have a list of different versions that you can get. This other PDF, documenting sources in MLA style 2021 update, I recommend that you download and save to your computer. This is something that will be a good reference material for you over the years that you are in college. The other resource that we will be relying on is the University of Mississippi RET Lab. This is an open educational resource. I'm going to click on it, and I will provide links to you each week. But as you can see here, we have the table of contents, and it covers things like reading, reflection, 5-paragraph, well, beyond the 5-paragraph essay, revision, analysis, rhetorical analysis, argument, evaluating sources, using research, using sources, multimodality, readability. So that's a lot of information on how to use correct punctuation, grammar, and that kind of thing, as well as additional resources. This is a fantastic resource. I'm really happy that I found it. I think it has really quality information from the University of Mississippi. And then I have many other resources that I will pick and choose from occasionally. We have the Purdue Online Writing Lab, and they have some really great information on grammar, punctuation, as well as MLA format and style. And then we have my YouTube channel and some other generic, not English 099 specific videos that are helpful, as well as crash course composition videos. This is a really great series that Crash Course has done in conjunction with Arizona State University. And I like to assign these videos. I think they're short bites. They pack in a lot of information in about 10 minutes of video, but it's really good information, and it's presented in a way that's very easily accessible for students. So those are the resources. It's good to know where all of this stuff is housed. Excuse me. It's also a good idea to download the Canvas Student mobile app. Sorry about that, I got all choked up. The Canvas Student mobile app is super handy to have. It is So they have it available for iPhone as well as Android. Download it to your phone. You can also download it if you're using a tablet. You can use it on a tablet as well. It's not a substitute for accessing the information on a computer. Well, it's good for accessing information when you're on the go, but it's really good for you to have a computer that you can use to complete your assignments. I had a student last semester in one of my face-to-face classes who did all of his assignments through his phone. And I told him that he could actually get a laptop on loan through the library, but he just preferred to work on his phone. Student did very well in the class, but I just think it would be really difficult to write a 4-page paper on your phone. However, the Canvas student app is really handy. It helps you to, it's a good way for you to check in to make sure nothing has popped up at the last minute for the class. So I really recommend that you download it. That way you have it when you're on the go. That way you can, if you're at work and you have a break and you want to get something done quickly, especially those smaller stakes assignments like a discussion board or a journal, where you don't have to create a document, but you can just text it in. Those are easily done on the mobile app. So I definitely recommend downloading the app for your mobile devices. All right. So that is the course orientation module and this basic overview. I think the overview went on a little bit longer than I would have liked, but it's all important information. I want to make sure that you're not missing out on any of the information. I know you could go and sit and just read through everything, but sometimes it's easier just to have somebody speaking through it on a video where you can just kind of sit. You don't have to concentrate quite as much as you would if you were sitting there and reading through the information. So I'm going to stop my share and be on the lookout for the syllabus video. And if you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.